the chairperson of the Commission, Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo, said that if Zuma is allowed to ignore his summons to appear, there will be lawlessness and chaos in the courts, with being used as a precedent by other witnesses. Zuma failed to appear before the Commission this morning. The former president furnished the Commission with a letter through his lawyers alerting it that he would not be attending this week. Zondo says Zuma has no valid sound reason for not appearing before the Commission. We're going to cross now to Ayanda Mhlongo, my colleague who's in KZN for us, who's in Nkandla actually. Thanks very much, Ayanda, for joining us. What's the reaction been of the local community?
A very good afternoon to you, Nompun. Good afternoon to our viewers. Of course, we've been here since the morning where members of Kontowesi's Military Veterans Association and some members of the ANC have come out here since last night to the home, outside the home of former President Jacob Zuma. And what they say is to come and support and defend the former president following his decision, of course, to not appear before the Zondo Commission. Of course, throughout this morning, people here have been following the developments at the Commission and eagerly awaiting what the decision was going to be of Justice Raymond Zondo. Without wasting much time, it is raining heavily here at Nkandla. I now have the former president's son, Edward, just to get the reaction and response on behalf of the Zuma family. Mr. Zuma, thank you so much, sir, for your time. Of course, you have heard now the decision by Justice Raymond Zondo in terms of how he's going to proceed with the matter relating to your father for his failure to appear before the Commission. What has been the reaction now, having heard the next step that the Commission intends to take to return to the Constitutional Court and, of course, to seek an order that your father is guilty of contempt of court? Your reaction, sir?
Good afternoon to the viewers. I would want to not welcome the decision by the DCJ. Clearly the DCJ is a confused person. He does not know what decision to take right now. Reason being that he does not take the decision himself as an individual, and he does not take it independently. He takes the decision based on who is telling him what to do and what to say and when to say it. It was clear in his deliberations when he was taking this decision that he was at pains in explaining it. At some point you could see he wanted to be in tears. We feel very bad. We do not accept it. Ours is one, but we still maintain. We're still going to fight on. We do not want him to preside over Jacob Zuma or former President Jacob Zuma's testimony. We do not want him there. We have our reasons. And he knows that very well. There is a truth that DCJ Zondo is not telling the country, which prompted us to make that particular application. Until such time he tells the truth to the country, we will then be able to entertain him. But for now, we would rather say, can he recuse himself? And former President Zuma will then testify in front of the Zondo Commission. After former President Zuma finishes, then they can bring him back. But for now, we're not going to allow him, and we will fight this battle.
Speaking of the truth that you say, Mr. Zuma, you're at liberty to tell us what is this truth that you're saying that the DCJ is holding against South Africans?
Unfortunately or fortunately, as I said, there is a pending case which is sitting in the North Gauteng High Court. I would want us to respect that particular process until such time we hear what that particular court decides, we will then be able to take matters forward. But whatever way or whatever result it comes out, we will push the matter forward. But at the end of the day, we would not want to see DCJ Zondo presiding over testimony of Mr. Zuma.
One of the reasons, Mr. Zuma, a part of Justice Zondo, when he was going through the reasoning behind the need for the former president to have come and testified here today, and of course resulting ultimately in the decision that the commission has taken, was that your father, through his defense, of course, had the opportunity at the Constitutional Court to put to the court the reasonings for his decision, or for their arguments rather, that Justice Zondo should recuse himself, and those reasons were not given to the court. He detailed which of the arguments that your father should have challenged in the Constitutional Court, which he did not. So can you explain the reasons why this did not happen when he did have a chance to challenge the arguments that have been brought forward by the commission?
My sister, you've articulated a very broad question, and it will deserve a very broad answer. The question you've just posed, in short, would be to say, are we then saying the Constitutional Court judges of this country or of this land, the very constitution that former president fought for, which he still defends to this day, are we therefore saying they are immune to making mistakes?
Okay.
It's another question,
right,
and it's another debate for another day.
Another day. Mr. Zuma, thank you so much for your time. I'm going to have to leave it there with you. Of course, we will be catching up with you a little bit later on. That's the son of former President Jacob Zuma, Edward, of course, taking us through the reaction from the family after that decision by Justice Raymond Zondo on how he's going to proceed with the matter of the former president having failed to appear before the before the Zondo Commission. For now, it's back to you in studio.
Thanks very much for that, Ayanda Mhlungu, reporting from Gandla. That's